All right, my friends. Today we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you in this Revit tip, how to set true north and project north and other north. And you're like, what? What is other north? Well, what if you have an outbuilding or a second building on your site that is like, it's not project north and it's not true north. It's some other north. I'm going to show you how to deal with that. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go right into it. All right. And here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you. Here we are. Hey, we made it to Revit. Okay. So here we go. Let me open up my plan. All right. This is my floor plan of my building. And it's really easy to see when you, whoa, that's small. Okay, let's get it up here closer. There we go. All right. If you take a look in my project browser, you'll notice that, well, it's set to project north. And so what I'm going to do is, it's grayed out. So I'm going to set it free from my view template. I'm going to set the view template to none just for today so we can work on this thing. Okay, work with me here, people. This view that we have on screen is set to project north. Now, project north is what you want north while you're working on the project, kind of like the way you want it to look on your sheets, okay? And project north can be rotated if you have started your whole project all wonky and you need to get project north straight again. For some reason you need to do that. You can come up here to, haven't done this in a while, so let me see which button it is. It's one of these silly buttons. Wait, here we go. Manage and position. Look at that. Not relocate. There it is. Rotate project north. Okay. If for some reason your building's wonked, if it's exactly 90 degrees out clockwise, you can actually rotate project north. And this is what we're talking about, people, is how you want it to lay on the sheets, on your drawing sheets. This has nothing to do with the real world and where true north is, the north arrow, the North Star, Polaris. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the way you want it to lay out on your sheet, okay? So you can rotate it clockwise, counterclockwise, or full 180. Sometimes people just draw their whole thing and they're like, you know what? I want the front door downward instead of up. This is your button, okay? Now, if you have drawn it wonky, you can click this button that says align a selected line or plane. So if you pick that button, what it's going to do, it's going to say, okay, pick a line somewhere in your model, that's like it's at a wonky angle. And when you click it, it just goes woof. It will realign your project, okay? So that doesn't happen all that often, but it does happen. But most of the time, people are sitting here drawing orthogonally, like zing, zing, 90-degree angles to the viewing environment here, and then putting them on the sheet in that environment, in that same orientation. But you can rotate if you have started drawing wonky and you need to fix it, or flip it 90 degrees or 180, okay? Just saying. So that being said, let's move on to true north. If for some reason you want to put a site plan on your project and you want it to be oriented true north, that's important. I mean, that can be very important. And some, like you want to show your property, you want to show the actual full site in orientation correctly to north. And yes, there's two ways to do that. Two ways, okay? No, I'm going to just show you. Well, there are two ways, but I'm only going to show you two of them, okay? So here we go. If this view. Okay, what I'm going to do, typically out of the box, true north is straight up out of the box, okay, straight up. And I'm going to show you, because if I switch the orientation of my view to true north, it should orientate, move to be true north. And I'm going to do it right now. So keep your eyes on the screen. Okay, here is, look across over here. Where is it? There it is, right there, next to orientation. It's set to project north. We're good with that. But if I do the drop down and I flip it to true north, nothing moves, because true north has not been changed. Okay, so let me show you the two different ways to do it. There's two ways to orient this. I'm going to pull my face over here so I can draw a line, a tail line. If I draw a detail line, let's just say my true north is up this direction over here. Okay. And well, okay, I'm going to draw a line at 30 degrees to make a point, to make it easy on myself. You see, let's say true north is right over there, that way. And when I go, what I want, true north, actually, it doesn't matter what angle it's at. If I grab this thing and wonk the end of it around, who cares? It really doesn't matter. Whatever angle this is it's pointing toward true north, okay? So here's how you get your project to be oriented. You go up to, there's a button called position, and look, we were here a minute ago. Rotate project north is grayed out because we're set to true north, okay? If our view was set to project north and I came up here, I don't know why rotate true north's not grayed, but look, rotate project north is available, because when I go to rotate true north, it's not grayed out. And hey, people at Revit, at Autodesk, can you gray that out? Because you're going to give me a error message anyway. Here, watch. Rotate true north. Error. You got to set your view to true north so that this works. I'm like, well, why didn't you just gray it out in the first place? Anyway, so here's what you got to do. To rotate true north, you have to set your view to true north. Then you can go up to this button. It's under a little group on the Manage tab, a group called Project Location, and the button is Position. And you can click Rotate True North. Now, it puts the center of rotation at the center of your project, but you don't have to do that. You could click this button up here that says Place, or you can grab the dot and drag it to a new location. So I just grabbed it to the end of my north arrow. See that? And I'm just going to point along my north arrow and say, this angle here needs to be up. And so my second click would be up. And when I click there, it changes my view so that this little arrow is truly pointing upward. So this is oriented correctly based on my little line that I randomly drew, okay? And if I switch the orientation of this view back to project north, it will go back to orthogonal, okay? But if I switch it to true north, it changes its orientation to what I've picked, okay? So that's one way to do it. Now, if you create a view, you could create yourself a view of your site plan. Just change the orientation of that view to true north and it will change. But typically on our floor plans, we're going to want to keep it back on project north. Okay. Okay. So here we go. That was number one. That was the one way to do it. Okay. So let's just get rid of, well, I'll leave it. Why not? Okay. I'll leave that one right there. We're going to draw several here in a minute, but I'll leave that there. Okay. Now, the other way to do it is using your project base point. You're like, what? Okay. It's not visible right now, so I'm going to hit VG on my keyboard, and I'm going to scroll down to Site Objects. Okay, where is it? There's Site Objects, and expand it. I'm going to turn on, there it is, Project Base Point. When I turn that on, it becomes visible in my project. Now, the Project Base Point is simply reporting information. It's reporting the center of my plan right now. If I move it up here, now it's reporting the center of my plan there. And then, you know, wherever I put it, it's reporting the numbers, north, south, east, and west. Okay. But it's also reporting the angle to true north. Ah, what? Okay. So let me just show you. That angle that says 315 is from straight up, from Project North, straight up, around counterclockwise until it comes to true north. That's the angle it's measuring. Okay, just bear with me. It's going counterclockwise, okay? So if I, watch this, DL, there is a line vertically, okay? Let me just get this over here and show you. We're talking about 315 degrees. You guys see it? So what it's doing is this is totally vertical, okay, from my north. And this side, there's 180. And then I'm going to go to annotate and get an angular dimension. 180 plus a 135. You add those together, and what you get is this 315. Okay, it's done at 315. And I'm just telling you, when what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to say, what if it's different? Watch this. I'm going to say, DL. I'm just going to throw a random, totally random. Our new north is off that direction. Well, from vertical, what is the angle? Whatever the angle is, counterclockwise from Project North, counterclockwise around, what's it say? 33. So if I want the project to have true north at the correct angle, all I got to do is pick my project base point and type 33. Watch, 33. It didn't change anything because my view is set to Project North still, but watch. Come on. When I switch this to true north, it's going to orient so that this arrow is pointing up. It has to. That's how the program works. So here we go. True north. Bam. See? All right. Works every time, okay? So what project base point is doing, it's measuring the number from Project North counterclockwise till it hits the north arrow, whatever north is. And you can set it anywhere as many times as you want. And if you set that number, click on it and set it back to 0, okay, then it is going to align with Project North again. Exactly. So right now, I just typed in 0 and True North, Project North are exactly the same now. Just showing you how this works. Okay. So this very useful, very easy to work with. But some people like to go up to the Manage tab and click on Position and rotate True North. That's one way to do it. But I personally like just using the project base point. Makes it faster. Okay. All right. So now, what is other north, Mike? What does other north mean? We understand Project North is orientation on the sheet. We understand that true north is the true north direction of the project, and the project will rotate so that true north is magnetic. You know, true north is upward. We got that. But what are you talking about other north? Huh? What? All right, let me show you. Sometimes, it's not every time, but sometimes you have another building on your site or another part of your building that is at another angle, a weird angle. So let's just do it. I'm going to put an outbuilding. Let's just have an outbuilding. There we go. I'm going to click this. Create similar on my exterior wall. And it's only going to be going up. What? It's only going to go up to the second floor. Okay. First floor up to the second floor. I'm going to make a rectangle, but look at this. I'm going to do, oh, it's not going to let me go at a weirdo angle. I'm going to have to draw it. Okay. There's a weirdo angle. And I'm going to draw perpendicular to it. And there. That is some weirdo angle. And if we had a door on it and windows, we would love our little plan, whatever. Okay, whatever. This is our little building. If I want, this is like an outbuilding, an extra little building that is not like a shed or something, or some other building on your project. Well, when I orient my plan to Project North, it's referring to the orientation of the main project, the main building. And it's not talking about my small outbuilding, okay? But if I switch it to True North, then it's orienting to True North. And that's not oriented to this outbuilding either. So what do I do? All right, here's what you can do. If you want a view of this outbuilding to be orthogonal so that you can work better and put dimensions on it easier, okay, let me show you how to do that. Let's create a view that has that building on it, okay, only. So let's go, here we go. I'm going to duplicate my my main floor plan. I'm just going to hit duplicate, okay? So, and then I'm going to rename it outbuilding, okay? Come on. You got to have something. OUTBLDG, outbuilding, okay? And if I go, this is my outbuilding plan right here. And if I go to crop this thing, I'm going to show my cropping region, and I'm going to crop my little outbuilding here. Ready for it? There's my little outbuilding. And if I crop it, okay, that it's still not right, Mike. This needs to be oriented correctly so I can put dimensions on it easier, so I can put annotation. I want it oriented correctly. You guys with me? So let's orient this thing so that the door is downward, okay? You're like, okay, how are we going to do it? We do not want to rotate Project North because that'll mess up our floor plans. We do not want to rotate True North because True North is set already. What we want to do is to rotate Other North. And guess what? I just made that up. Other North is my own word that I just made up only a few minutes ago when we started this video, maybe 18 minutes ago. So hang in there. Other North is another view that needs to be rotated so it's orthogonal. And what we need to do is find out the angle that it needs to go. So watch this. I'm going to put a little line on this corner right here. Okay. Okay. See that? To get this orthogonal, I need the building to rotate up to that line. And then my door will be downward. You guys with me? So here's what you do. Find out what the angle is. You got to find out the angle. So just go to annotate and put an angular dimension on there. Bam, bam. 35 degrees. You with me? We need this thing to rotate 35 degrees. If we want the building to rotate 35 to the right, we have to, listen to me, rotate this right here, this cropping region 35 degrees to the left. You have to rotate it the opposite direction to get the building to orient the way you want. I know that sounds crazy, but work with me. This is called Other North for a reason. It's whack, but it works. It works, people. Okay. I want the building to go 35 to the right, so I'm going to rotate this cropping region 35 to the left. So here we go. With it highlighted, I am going to rotate. Hey, how come rotate is not an option right now? Wait. Because it's, I know why. My view is set to True North. You can't rotate this thing when it's set to true north. Phew. I knew this would happen to one of you. That's why I made an error on my own self. Actually, it came up accidentally, but I'm going to just play it that way. Okay, here we go. I'm setting the view to project north, okay? And now, would you look at that? The rotate button is available for me. Now, back to what we're going to do. The building needs to go 35 to the right. So this cropping region needs to go 35 to the left. Here we go. Rotate, okay? And it doesn't matter where you click, and then you start going to the left. It's the opposite. You got to just think backwards here and type 35 and hit enter. What? It worked, Mike. Are you kidding me? You're a genius. Okay, so this outbuilding view is oriented correctly. You can put dimensions on here easily. You can put annotation on here. You can do what you need to do now. Okay, I'm just going to put a room in there. See, everything is going to orient correctly for you now in this one view. But if I go back to my main plan, it's still oriented Whaaat. I mean project north. And here we go. Let me just put another line in here. I'm just going to go maybe true north is over there. Okay. True north is off that direction. What's that angle? Okay, let's go find out. Angular from straight up over to there is 68 degrees. So what do? Click on my project base point and type 68 degrees. Done. Project, the true north has been rotated. All right. I know this is crazy. I know it's crazy, but there is project north is needed all the time. True north is needed whenever you have site plans, whenever you have a property plan. You need true north. And sometimes, on rare occasions, you're going to need other north. And I hope this video helps you to figure out how to do all those. You can duplicate that outbuilding view if you want to, so that everything stays oriented. If you needed a furniture plan for that outbuilding or a fire protection plan for that outbuilding, you can just duplicate the view and it'll maintain the orientation. But whenever you create a brand new view, like going up to the top of Revit and saying, I need a new plan view, it's going to use project north as its orientation every time. Just saying. All right. You guys have a fantastic day. I hope this video has helped you in orienting your views properly. And until we meet again, happy Reviting. Bye-bye.